watching ZBM TV9 Bermuda.
Big savings of $3 on Florida strawberries, 1 pound package, only $3.99. Save more than half price on fresh Purdue chicken leg quarters, only 99 cents per pound. ShopRite Frosted Flake cereal, 15-ounce box, just $3.79. Half gallon Blue Carton Dunkley's fresh milk, only $4.99. Save $2 on Gardener Fructis shampoo or conditioner, 13-ounce bottle, only $4.99. All stores open Monday through Saturday until 10 p.m. for your shopping convenience.
You can count on us.
Live from Bermuda Broadcasting, this is ZBM TV9 News.
Good evening, everyone. It's Thursday, March the 9th, 2017. I'm Diane Brewer, and thank you for joining us tonight. Topping our news, an under-20 national team footballer is charged in court with a fatal stabbing of Raymond Butterfield at the Blue Waters Angler Club on Sunday. Jasmine Patterson was in the courtroom.
Appearing in magistrate's court in front of a packed courtroom, 19-year-old Michael Lionel Thomas of Pembroke was charged with unlawfully killing Raymond Butterfield near the Blue Waters Anglers Club in Pembroke on March 5th this year. Represented by lawyer Charles Richardson, the defendant was not required to enter a plea, as the charge must be heard in the Supreme Court. Magistrate Kamisi Takumba granted the defendant bail with conditions in the amount of $15,000 with a like surety. Thomas must adhere to a nightly curfew, report to the Hamilton Police Station weekly, surrender travel documents, and have no contact with any witnesses. Thomas is set to reappear during the arraignment session on April 3rd in the Supreme Court. Jasmine Patterson reporting for Bermuda Broadcasting News.
You know the news. Attorneys for former Premier Dr. Yod Brown questioning the actions of the Attorney General in filing civil action against Leahy Clinic, in which Dr. Brown is named as accepting bribes. As Gary Moreno tells us in this report, Dr. Brown wants to know, where did the AG get his information, and did he break the law in obtaining it?
The letter to the Attorney General from law firm Trott & Duncan expresses concern that the complaint filed by the Attorney General against Leahy Clinic and making public statements about criminal conduct on the part of Dr. Brown, the Attorney General, Trevor Moniz, may not only have violated the Bermuda Constitution, but also international treaty provisions as well as U.S. federal law. In the letter, Dr. Brown's attorneys contend that as a serving member of Parliament and in keeping with the island's constitution, Mr. Moniz should not have had any knowledge of or involvement with a criminal investigation. This based on the claim that it would have been difficult to file the complaint against Leahy Clinic without access to information and material gathered during the ongoing criminal investigation against Dr. Brown. The letter states, with much of the information apparently having been garnered from overseas, and particularly the United States, if it was gathered without the consent of the U.S. government or an order of a U.S. court, it cannot be used in the lawsuit against Leahy Clinic. What's more, the AG is accused of violating Dr. Brown's constitutional right to be presumed innocent and undermines the fairness of any future trial. His attorneys questioning, among other things, how did the AG come by the overseas evidence, and was it done in compliance with federal rules or criminal procedure? Why wasn't Dr. Brown confronted with the allegations being made against him? And did the AG have any contact with the Bermuda Police Service or the Director of Public Prosecutions in relation to the ongoing criminal investigation into the former Premier? The AG has been given until the 23rd of this month to reply to the letter, which has been reviewed and the contents agreed with by Dr. Brown's UK-based attorney and former UK Attorney General, Lord Peter Goldsmith, Queen's Counsel, and his US-based legal representative, David A. O'Neill, who led the criminal division at the US Department of Justice. Elsewhere, Dr. Brown's attorneys have also written to the Commissioner of Police outlining the same concerns and asking similar questions as they pertain to any involvement of the Bermuda Police Service in evidence from the criminal investigation into Dr. Brown being provided to the Attorney General in aiding the filing of the civil matter against the Leahy Clinic and the claims being made against Dr. Brown in that lawsuit. Gary Moreno, reporting for the Bermuda Broadcasting News.
Meantime, is the Attorney General considering taking action against government Senator Vic Ball based on evidence given during hearings held by the Commission of Inquiry into the Auditor General's report for fiscal 2010 to 2012? While action has been taken against other individuals for alleged impropriety, the Attorney General refuses to respond to our queries about what, if any, action is to be taken against Senator Ball. Once again, here's Gary Moreno.
During testimony before the commission, Senator Ball, who worked as a purchasing officer for the Ministry of Works from 2004 to 2011, informed there was a shortage of aggregate used in the making of asphalt, and it was necessary to make an emergency purchase. As efforts for obtaining the emergency supply began, Mr. Ball says he was approached by his father, who sought to find out whether a company in which he was part owner, Harmony Holdings, could bid on the contract. Mr. Ball, in his witness statement, indicated he saw no reason his father's company could not enter a bid. He explained that Harmony Holdings would be able to obtain the product at 10% the cost of government purchasing it directly, and so recommended that the contract be awarded to the company. East End Asphalt, another company, was also able to bring in the aggregate at a cost that would be cheaper than if government were to do it directly, but there was a fear, Mr. Ball says, that East End would inflate the price after a contract was signed. Mr. Ball saying although he was aware his father was part owner of Harmony Holdings, his decision to award the contract to that company was correct based on the information he had at the time. Further, while the ultimate decision was the permanent secretary in the Ministry of Works and Engineering's to make, Mr. Ball did not inform the peers that his father was involved in Harmony Holdings, as he did not want to, quote, influence him. The contract was not given cabinet approval, but according to Mr. Ball, that was not necessary since the contract was for an emergency purchase and cabinet approval is not required for such purchases. We inquired of the Attorney General's offices whether in light of this series of events, this matter will be investigated. If it will be and any wrongdoing is discovered, will the AG's office seek to bring civil or criminal proceedings against those involved, including Senator Ball? That was a week ago today, but so far we have not had a response. You may remember the Attorney General recently filed civil action against 3 former members of the Board of Trustees of the Port Royal Golf Course for awarding contracts to themselves or companies associated with them in the redevelopment of that golf course. However, a well-placed source suggesting it would not be in the best interest of the AG to comment on anything in the report from the Commission of Inquiry before the report is actually made public, reminding that the Attorney General announced his decision to pursue civil action against the 3 former Port Royal Golf Course trustees well after the report on that project came into the public arena. Gary Moreno, reporting for the Bermuda Broadcasting News.
And still ahead on News 9, government makes yet another pitch for residents to complete their census forms, and Bermuda Film Festival to kick off on the weekend. Stay with us. More news after the break.
You can count on us.
Super savings on fresh asparagus, only $2.99 per pound. Save $1.50 per pound on fresh 85% lean ground beef, only $2.99 per pound. Save $2 on Arm & Hammer laundry detergent, 75-ounce bottle, only $8.99. Secret Scent Expressions deodorant stick, 2.6-ounce package, only $4.99. Heinz ketchup, 20-ounce bottle, only $3.29. All stores open Monday through Saturday until 10 p.m. for your shopping convenience.
You can count on us.
Ahoy, me hearties!
The pirates of Bermuda are back. Hostages have been seized, and it's time to find out if they will be saved or if they will
Walk the plank!
join the pirates on Sunday, March 12th from 2 p.m. until 4:30 at Number 1 Car Park for food, fun, and entertainment for the whole family. This is Bermuda Sloop Foundation's biggest fundraiser of the year with a goal of $150,000. And all funds raised will go towards student voyages on the Spirit of Bermuda. So join us on Sunday, March 12th to find out who will
Walk the plank!
Welcome back. Well, census officials tonight making a final plea to non-compliant residents to complete mandatory questionnaires as the new March 31st deadline approaches. It relates to the 2016 census, which officially began last May and had to be extended due to non-compliance by some residents. Melinda Williams, the director for the Department of Statistics, which oversees the census effort, pleading for community partnership, however, warning that she's considering taking to court those who ultimately do not cooperate.
So far, the completion rate for the 2016 census is at 94%, or just over 34,000 residents as of March the 6th, up from 82% in December.
We're using assessment numbers. So when it's not a coverage of households, it's of assessment numbers. And so we have businesses, we have vacant units, as well as private dwelling units.
The law says that every household or dwelling must provide information to the census, which must be carried out at least once every decade. But the Department of Statistics had to ask for an extension last year due to outstanding census surveys.
We have had some challenges along the way. We were hoping to be finished by the end of December, but conducting a census in Bermuda, like any other country, it's a partnership. The Department of Statistics facilitates the process, by putting the framework in place, by training persons, and putting all the infrastructure in place. But we also depend on the public. And as you may be aware, Troy, we had a number of options that we opened up to the public. For the first time, we embarked on the e-census, which allow persons to go online and to complete the questionnaire.
Telephone options were also made available for questionnaire completion, and now the department is in the final phase, which involves census interviewers going door to door to obtain details including income, the number of people in every dwelling, and education level. However, government has had to make repeated public recruitment drives for door-to-door interviewers to come forward after falling short of the targeted number.
Last year, we were hoping to recruit approximately 250 interviewers to go door-to-door. But unfortunately, we were not able to recruit that many people despite our efforts.
Why so?
I can't tell you definitively. I could just make some assumptions. This work is not for everyone. Conducting a census is a lot like a marathon or a cross-country race. As you know, many of our schools are embarking upon inter-school sports at this time. And it's a journey where we all start out together.
The message to those residents who have not made completing their census submissions a priority.
And I understand the challenges of many households, but this is critical. This is of national importance. In order for Bermuda to plan, we need to have accurate, reliable data. And it's not just for the government, it's for the private sector and for the general public, as well as for themselves.
And a message to residents who are dead set against complying with the repeated requests to complete their census submissions. Well, Mrs. Williams says she has been in contact with the Department for Public Prosecutions and says she is considering her options where it concerns taking offenders to court, where they could be fined up to $1,000. Tarai Trott reporting for Broadcasting News.
And if you haven't already done so, you have 3 options to submit your census questionnaire. You're urged to get in touch with your interviewer if you receive a notification card, or you can dial the Department of Statistics on 297-7761, where a staff member will interview you on the phone. You can also email statistics@gov.bm or visit the department in the Cedar Parkade in Hamilton. In other news, ahead of the St. Paddy's Day week, the Bermuda International Film Festival is hosting a world premiere film on a famous New York City Irish pub. Renowned sports photographer and film producer Neil Leifer will be in Bermuda this week to premiere his movie Neary's, the 50th anniversary of a much-loved Irish restaurant in Midtown Manhattan. It's a favorite hangout for noted New York politicos and financiers, including Michael Bloomberg and Lloyd Blankenfeld of Goldman Sachs. There are other Manhattanites featured in the movie, including rare interviews. Jimmy Neary arrived from Ireland in his youth and established the pub, which now bears his name. His daughter, Una Neary, works for Goldman Sachs, but has worked in the pub through her life. Bermuda's honorary Irish consul, John Kane, states he has stopped by Neary's for some 40 years. You're invited to join the film festival for a spot of Irish spirit at 6:30 p.m. this Saturday, March 11th at BUEI. Tickets are available through PTIX for $20 or contact Biff at 293-3456. Turning to weather news, sunny breaks and a few showers for our Friday. Here's the latest from AccuWeather headquarters.
AccuWeather is presented by BF&M Insurance Group. We now go to AccuWeather headquarters.
Wet and cloudy weather on the way for Bermuda tonight. This forecast brought to you by the BF&M Insurance Group. I'm AccuWeather's Shanae Shocker. While taking a look at our satellite and radar, we can see very clearly another cold front approaching the region. A lot of these showers so far have been held off towards our north and our east, but as we head throughout the rest of the evening, we are going to continue to see those showery conditions continue. Into tonight, while our humidity right around 73%, winds out of the west 8 to 22 knots, so we do see a small craft advisory in effect into tomorrow morning as well, and our waves outside the reef 5 to 8 feet, so we are going to begin to see this increase tonight as well. As far as our temperatures go, right now right around the 66-degree mark, so we did warm up just slightly. Now, as I said, in throughout tonight we'll continue to see some breezy conditions and a couple of showers around as this front begins to shift off towards our south. Now, unfortunately, it kind of lingers around our area, so we'll see a couple of of showers during the daytime hours for tomorrow, and continuing to increase in our winds tomorrow afternoon as another front begins to push through the region. So tomorrow we'll start the day at 6:45 a.m. with our first high tide, second high tide going to be right around 7:03 towards the evening, and those are going to be higher than average as we see these fronts passing through over the next 24 hours here. A look at your extended or your gateway forecast, shows a clipper system passing through the northeast of the U.S. That's going to be bringing some snowfall into New York and Boston, interior regions, anywhere from 3 to 6 inches. So though it has been extremely warm, we are going to be seeing accumulating snowfall, and this clipper system is going to be bringing some wet weather as we head towards our Friday evening as well. Atlanta, a couple of showers around with a cold front and even a thunderstorm possible. London, just some rain in store for us there. Out towards the Caribbean, we have those moderately strong trade wind showers passing across the region, but outside of that, we're looking mostly dry. Now for our Friday, so we'll see showers towards the morning, have maybe a lingering shower towards the daytime hours, but as we head into the overnight hours, increasing amounts of rain as the second system passes by. By Saturday, we'll see a couple of spare showers around the area. Sunday looking mostly dry. Then we see another big and significant rain event headed our way for our Monday and Tuesday. We're talking larger than what we will see over the next couple of days, enough to see some flooding out towards the road. So you are going to want to make sure that you stay tuned in to Ocean 89, Power 95, and Inspire 105 for all of your weather news and updates.
AccuWeather was presented by BF&M Insurance Group.
And you're watching the Thursday edition of News 9. Coming up in sports, we'll have the latest on the World Jumping Challenge and have the Hornets moved away from their latest battle. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Oh, hey, guys.
We want you back, Linda.
Look, we just don't need to count you anymore. Our new Zerta Perfect Sleeper helps solve 5 common sleep problems.
We can change.
Can you support us as much as our Perfect Sleeper?
No.
Then I'm sorry.
Wait, is Jerry around?
He is sleeping.
I think she's coming around.
Stop counting sheep to get to sleep. Discover the perfect mattress for you at Bermuda's largest sleep center. Big Savings Zone, Southside, St. David's.
Turning to sports, Carissa Rebane will represent Bermuda during the FEI World Jumping Challenge. The Dandytown Hornets moved away from the relegation battle, and the basketball finals are underway. Earl Baisden has more in tonight's Sports Report.
Many Bermudians get a chance at a lifetime of representing Bermuda at the highest level. Carissa Rebane will get a second chance as she represents Bermuda at the World Equestrian Horse Jumping Championships.
So my last time was the first time competing at the higher height, so I was a little bit nervous because I've never really jumped that big before, but I don't know. I don't really know what to expect because this is my first year competing at this height. So every now and again, I do get a little bit worried with the heights. And to go away and ride a new horse that I don't have any idea about and to jump these big heights again, it's going to be a little challenging. So I don't expect it to be easy at all.
You've been setting yourself up here with Helsinki. You guys have bonded together really well. How easy does Helsinki make it for you to enter the competition to qualify?
He makes it kind of easy in different ways. You know, like where I struggle with him is where most people don't struggle with their horses. He's got amazing jumping talent. He can go up, another like 4 or 5 holes and be okay. But we just challenge with the focus. Every now and again, we're not on the same page. Like, I'll be thinking right, he'll be thinking left. And I'm like, where did you get that idea from? We're not doing that. So I would say like the flat work side of it is where our challenge is. He gives me tons of confidence to go to a jump and get over it. But it's just the technical fine-tuning side of it that I guess you could say we're a little green at.
With a hat-trick from Angelo Simmons, the Dandytown Hornets last night put a huge dent in North Village Rams' title hopes as they claimed a 3-2 victory. North Village Rams took the lead when Ralph Gumbo Bean scored, but Simmons would equalize for the Dandytown Hornets, and with some 20 minutes to play in the first half, the North Village Rams would take a 2-1 lead with a goal from Shane Hollis. The second half started as a seesaw battle, but after the North Village Rams had a header come back off the crossbar, Simmons would drill home the Dandytown equalizer. With the game entering stoppage time, Simmons would score yet again to complete his hat-trick and earn the Dandytown Hornets 3 valuable points and move them to 15 points and up to 7th place, while the North Village Rams remain in 3rd on goal difference. The Tsunamis took a 1-0 lead in the Bermuda Island Basketball Playoff Best 2 out of 3 final by defeating the defending champions Flyboys 81-78 inside the Cedar Bridge Academy Gymnasium last evening. The top scorers for the Tsunamis was regular season MVP Dean Jones, who scored 26 points, while teammate Steven Simons added 21. For the Flyboys, Akil Smith scored 23 points, while Jaron Haley added 17 points. Game 2 is slated for Saturday night inside the Cedar Bridge Academy Gymnasium beginning at 7 p.m. Arnold Manders has agreed to coach the Western Stars cricket team for the upcoming 2017 Bermuda Cricket Board season. Manders, a former captain at the club and former national cricket coach, takes over from Wendell Smith, who was at the helm last season but decided not to continue. There was lots of excitement at the police field yesterday with the 6th annual Beyond Rugby Championship tournament taking place between middle schools and high schools. The middle school winners were Sand Secondary Middle School, with the runners-up being Salters. The Devray Knowles Simmons MVP award went to Devin Augustus. In the high school division, Salters were declared the winners, with runners-up being the Barclay Institute. Tyler Kendall was presented the Malcolm Utterbridge MVP award. Meanwhile, Tashawn De Silva was one of 2 of Bermuda's rugby players to represent the West Indies at the Las Vegas